Josh produces for you today.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck.
Well, you have reached draft day, and you had a trade yesterday that might mean something to you. You probably have a few more today. And here we go. There are some reports that the 49ers know who they want at 3, where we think the draft is going to start. There are some that say they still aren't completely set. And then there's the Broncos. What's up, y'all? Happy draft day, or at least the first day of draft days. Opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. JJ, you got a quarterback. Your Broncos went out and got a quarterback. Your GM liked him from the past, and it cost you a 6th-round pick. Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock will go into the room, very possibly with a rookie. You like it for a 6th-round pick, with them picking up $7 of the $10 million on his salary this year?
Yes, it's what you call hedging your bets. This is a situation. The Broncos had Jeff Driscoll and Brett Rippon as backup quarterbacks. Teddy Bridgewater is a very good backup quarterback and a decent starter in the NFL. So this was a very good move for a team that could be, as you just said, drafting a quarterback. And then so if you're going to draft a quarterback, you're going to move on from Drew Lock, then you want some veteran experience on the roster, and you got that with Teddy Bridgewater. And you don't have to necessarily pick up all of his contract. Carolina does that, and for a 6th-round pick, this is a solid move for Denver.
I think it is. For a 6th-round pick where they're going to the 191st overall in the draft, and they are going to pick up the majority of his salary. And he's a solid veteran that can go in and win you some games and play well. Yeah, I think it is a good move. Now, it's got to be their guy, right? Or is it if one of those guys is left at 9? Or do they still move up to go quarterback? Because now I think they've got less urgency to go out and find that guy for the future.
Nope.
If they go into a season, you don't think so? You think they're just as urgent?
Absolutely. Teddy Bridgewater's not the dude that you're like, whew, I'm okay. We're feeling okay about quarterback. This allows you to have those options still on the table, but you got a veteran to maybe, even if it's a Justin Fields or a Trey Lance, and you're not quite confident in weeks 1 through 4 or 1 through 6, you got Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, I think that if it's your guy, if it's the 5th guy on your board, your 5th quarterback, and that's what's left, you got Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. I agree with you. He's not your guy that you just went, whoo, our franchise is set for the next decade. I got that. Unless you've completely given up on Drew Lock, which maybe you have. And maybe he's part of a trade to move up. Maybe he's a piece to along, but he's going to be a small piece. Unless you've completely given up, I just don't know that you go with if it's your 5th guy. Now, everybody loves Justin Fields in the media. Everybody says if he's there, you got to take him. If he's there, you got to take. And I get that. Why is it so many of these teams don't love him so much? I think you're right. I think Trey Lance is going to be really good. I really do. I like Trey Lance a lot. Why is it that the Justin Fields is not resonating so much with everybody in football? Like the media guys love him. Oh, he was this. He was this. Why does he seem to be falling so much? Like they as much as we think we know, they know more.
Well, we don't know that they don't like him for sure.
No.
We don't know that. Like it could be the teams love him and they don't want to say it. They're not telling us that.
Well, there's going to be some teams that do.
Yes, and when you look at just the way it's played out, he was going to get pushed down once the top 2 teams decided on their quarterbacks. I don't think just because Zach Wilson's going number 2, he's better than Justin Fields, or the other way around at this point in time. It's just that's the way it was decided. And Mac Jones being liked by San Francisco could easily mean that there's 28 other teams that think Justin Fields is better than Mac Jones.
Yeah, it could, and we're going to find out. There's a lot of word that the Patriots are going to move up. There's a report out of Boston that the Jimmy Garoppolo back to New England is almost inevitable. I'll get that to you. Here's my feeling on Bridgewater. They need a quarterback, and they're still in the quarterback market. This makes sense for a 6th-round pick, and you got to pay $3 million for him. I think that's beautiful. Okay, your quarterback situation today is better. If it's a guy you like, if it's the number 5 guy on your board, whatever it is, I don't care if it's Mac Jones, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, whoever the last kid, you say you still take him at 9 if he's there.
To me, it's not Mac Jones. I believe this is going to come down to Justin Fields and Trey Lance that are going to be the quarterbacks available after the top 3 picks. And just because trading for Teddy Bridgewater does not mean you go away if you already felt like you were going to get a quarterback. If you were going, we got a chance and we'll be aggressive and trade up if one of those guys is there, Teddy Bridgewater doesn't change that. It just makes Drew Lock expendable.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I just don't know that the only piece I don't agree with is we've got to get a quarterback now. Because again, this was a 5-win team? If there's something else that fills a need, then maybe you take that. But we'll see. It's tonight. A lot for you to get in on today now. 505-246-0610 is how to get here. Bobcat's there with somebody. I can't really tell who that is, but Bobcat's producing for you on the radio side. What up? Look at that. Were you going to say something to me? I saw you leaning into the microphone.
This is Stephanie.
I saw that now.
Come on, over here.
Yeah.
She's going to be my backup producer if I have to be someplace else.
So are you like to have a backup? You have to have a job, right? So is this your job now? Are you our producer?
Apparently.
How come nobody tells you or me, JJ? What are we just? We don't matter on this show. And I'm well understand it's about the producer, and I'm well aware of all that. All right, well, Stephanie, good to see you. And good morning to you. Look at she even wore her Lobo woof 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 stuff. Hey, I'm going to go do a sports thing show today. I'm going to put on the Lobo stuff. I mean, going to have to be. Well, I guess not. All right, Bob will take your call. 505-246-0610. Aaron's producing for you on the Pro V Network side television. You can watch it over on our Facebook page, the OD in the AM. You can see Robert Cat and Stephanie Cat in her Lobo sweatshirt. JJ, did you see the report out of Boston now, where it's basically they're one of the TV stations there? It's inevitable that Jimmy G's going back to New England. The headline in Tom Curran's story on NBC Sports, what is it? Yeah, NBCSports.com in Boston. Jimmy G homecoming seems almost inevitable now. That and it went on and on. That the Patriots are going to move up. They're getting a quarterback and they're getting Jimmy G. So they're going to kind of go in with Cam Newton, Jimmy G, and whichever rookie they run up to get, which is so unlike them. But I can't tell you I think it's wrong.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Denver Broncos. If you're going into this draft and you're like, you know what, we're getting a quarterback. This is the guy we like. A Teddy Bridgewater, a Jimmy Garoppolo does not change that for either franchise. So if they're set on one of those guys, then go get your dude. Go do what you got to do. Especially for Jimmy Garoppolo, who is going to cost you what? Maybe a fifth-round pick at this point in time?
Yeah, not much.
So,
I mean,
it's just about fitting in the salaries and making that work around the edges specifically for New England. But this is all about at least feeling like there's a fallback, and usually a veteran fallback when you're adding a rookie quarterback to your team.
Yeah. All right. We got where are you going today? Where are you going to the draft? We got that. Cowboy fam, what do you want to see? Do you like Patrick Surtain? You like J.C. Horn? Who do you like at 10? What do you think is going to happen there? And then, where's the traffic going to be? And what's the surprise going to be? Something's going to pop between picks number 4 and number 8. Something's popping there, don't you think? There's no way, I think, it goes in order. And it just trickles down to the Broncos, and there's the next quarterback. I just don't see it happening. And are the Panthers in the quarterback market with Sam Darnold and them saying that they're picking up the 5th-year option, or looking like they're going to pick up the 5th-year option? Is that where it goes? So we got to get into that. We're going to get into what being green in Bernalillo County starting tomorrow means for high school sports with a state tournament coming up next week, what it means for Isotopes, what it means for United. So that's all on the table. Phoenix Suns are in the playoffs for the first time in, I don't know, a blue sun. Jacob deGrom made a little history yesterday and lost 1-0 again. Bryce Harper is in the news. We got a ton of stuff for you. 505-246-0610 is how to get to us. 888-922-0610. Your emails will come in this morning. Jeff@sportsanimalabq.com. JJ@sportsanimalabq.com. And follow JJ on the Facebook. It's _JJ Buck. Hey, a lot of people wait too long to get home security. They wait until something bad happens. It's pretty much closing the barn door after the horse is gone. It is then too late. Do not be that person. Don't wait until something bad happens. I certainly didn't. I've used International Protective Service, IPS, to protect my home for years, and I suggest you do too. I was out of town over the weekend, got back on Tuesday, and let IPS know. They do extra checks on the home. They do exterior checks every day. They come by, they check it in the middle of the night. I see them on the security cameras. I know when they're here and what they do. They roll out the garbage cans. Monday was garbage day. They rolled them out, rolled them back. If you have newspaper, mail, they'll pick it up. There's a chance many of you signed up for armed local security with a company that has now been sold twice, and your security is in the hands of a company from Texas, and that's what you signed up for. It's not what you have to have either. Switch to IPS. International Protective Service owner Aaron Jones is from Albuquerque. He's not going anywhere. Passionate about providing protection for your home, for your family, for your business that you've worked so hard to build. IPS has highly trained armed guards who watch what's important when you can't be there. 24-hour patrols, armed officers who respond to alarms typically within 5 to 7 minutes. Trust your protection to a local company who is passionate about making our city a safer place to live and work. The phone number is 897-2420, 897-2420, or visit them at ipsglobal.com.
Titus and JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talk It Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show. Good morning. Welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talk It Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone.
Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more. Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
NFL draft starts today. I know you're excited about it. Interesting, weird day it should be. 2460610. This is going to feel weird too. Fans in the stands at high school basketball games. Aaron's been out there. JJ's been out there. You were out there in an empty gym again last night, right? El Dorado and West Mesa girls is what you called last night, right? Empty gym?
Empty gym.
Tired of it? Starting tomorrow, it doesn't have to be empty anymore. Not going to be full. Not going to be full. It's going to feel full, don't you think, with 25%?
It's going to feel rowdy to have some energy back in the gym. Noise during free throws, just some excitement, and at the perfect time with the state tournament on deck.
The with 25,000 or 25% full, which it's a big deal. Now for the pit on that championship Saturday, that means roughly about 3,000 fans would be allowed in the building. They're gonna have to figure that out how they do it. If they use the upper level and distancing and everything, but this is a big deal for student athletes and probably as big a deal for the parents, don't you think? To be able to go and watch their kids play.
It's a huge deal for parents because they're going to get a chance to see what could be their kids' final high school basketball games. It's unfortunate for some because I know like tonight, Volcano Vista, Trisco Heritage, this is their last game of the regular season. Volcano Vista is going to be a postseason team. Trisco Heritage isn't, so just missing it by one day to get a chance to be in the gym. But there's still regular season games tomorrow and Saturday, finishing the season ahead of the state tournament. And this is what I had my fingers crossed for when the stuff came down last week, is to get to this point and just at least have some family, fans in attendance for the state tournament.
And it looks like that's going to be the way it is. For those of you who claimed it would work out just in time for United to open, you're right. Isotopes as well will fall into that. That will be 50% with social distancing requirements at Isotopes Park. Both clubs say they're not going to go the full distance for their openers. United, according to the story that Ken Sickinger wrote, is looking at about 3,700 fans. They play matches May 15th and 29th. They've sold out of their 25% ticket threshold, so they'll add some more tickets. Isotopes are going to go about 4,000 for their 6-game homestand, which starts on May 6th, which is coming up so quickly. Is that next week already? It is. It's next week already, isn't it? It's next Thursday. Is opening day. That's really kind of cool. They go May 6th, and then they have another one that starts May 20th. They, by the way, individual tickets are on sale for those at abqisotopes.com. So I just slowly, but slowly, we're on our way. I don't know what I expected yesterday from the governor in regards to that announcement, but I obviously it's positive in saying that by June we could be fully open. Obviously, everybody says, okay, let's do what we got to do, right? It's getting vaccinated, that sort of thing. Encouraging is probably a mild word, no? You can tell me delayed and whatever, but okay.
No, I think encouraging is fair at this point.
Lenny is on the line.
looking at the events that we were already looking forward to when it comes to outdoors, but now all of a sudden having the indoor capacity in Bernalillo County, which is absolutely huge for high school athletics at this point in time when we're talking about the state tournament. And that means this year it's going to be a little bit different then for the teams that are playing, in the quarterfinals and then semifinals, because it's home gyms. In the state, it's only the state final that is being played at the pit, so that adds to that atmosphere for teams.
All right. Draft day. I know Lenny wants to get in on that. Good morning, Lenny. How are you?
Good morning. How you guys doing?
Excellent. What's up?
Well, first, one thing before we do draft, you got to feel bad for Jacob DeGrom. 0.59 ERA, 59 strikeouts, 51 innings. He should be 5-0 right now.
It's unbelievable, the lack of run support that he gets and continues to get. Like you can't create that. It's stunning. He loses 1-0 last night. It struck out 9 more and was spectacular again, but gave up a run.
Right, and I'm dating myself, but this reminds me of when Seaver was with the Mets, and he would lose 2-1, 1-0, 3-2.
It's insane.
And I just can't figure it out with him. He's the best pitcher in baseball, and I'm not being biased on that.
I think that's right.
But it's just ridiculous. So now with the Broncos, they were gifted Teddy Bridgewater. So you brought up they're a 5-win team. Why go for a quarterback now when you're a 5-win team, when now you have a quarterback that can get you through the year because he threw for 3,700 yards. He's better than what you had. Trade back in the draft, get some capital, and maybe later in the round pick up a wide receiver, an offensive tackle you need, and build the team this year, and then go for a quarterback next year.
How do you feel about that?
Well, there's always next year for a quarterback, but Teddy Bridgewater is also coming off being a quarterback of a 5-win team himself. So if you're just going to run it back and be a 5-win team next year, why not get the guy this year if you like him?
If you like him.
I understand, but you gave up nothing for Bridgewater. 6th-round pick is nothing.
And that shouldn't change your draft if you liked a quarterback and were set on getting a quarterback.
No, and I agree, but I'm just giving a different scenario they could work with to try to pick up draft capital and build the team up.
Okay.
This year, because it's a little bit deeper draft with some of the other.
Well, JJ, to your point, what he, and I don't totally disagree with this. Wherever your other needs are, you're probably drafted at the top of that silo, right? I don't know if it's necessarily wide receiver, lineman. You're at number 1 or number 2 in that category. If it's not the quarterback, this is where I am. If your quarterback that you had number, let's say 3, you're in love with him, and he falls to you, or you've got a way to get him, I think you go get him. If it's your number 5 guy that you're like, okay, now you got a room full of guys. You got 3 of them that you're like, all right, and that's not what you're looking for, where you might be able to get somebody at the top of a category for lineman, whatever, defensive end, whatever it is you're looking for, that can help you more. I do kind of understand that.
And then I think the Cowboys are going to take Surtain.
Okay.
And New England, with the Garoppolo thing, I think they're going to trade up for a quarterback. And if Garoppolo becomes available for San Francisco for dead cap money, he'll be a July 1st or June 1st cut, where it doesn't give as much of a cap hit this year.
So you think it happens
trade him,
late summer?
He gets more dead cap money.
What is that? I'm reading. So the Niners need to cut. They need to get out from Garoppolo's contract. God, it's $24 million, JJ, this year and next year.
Mm-hmm. But it's more of a. If they trade him, he gets more of a dead cap hit to the team. If they cut him on June 1st or after June 1st, less dead cap, it rolls into next season, but less for this year.
Yeah.
But it's spread out longer.
Yeah, and that's why they're
what are they really going to get for him? A 5th or 6th round pick?
Well, that's why they're going to get nothing for him. I mean, honestly, with all due respect, it's not only are you getting a brittle marginal quarterback, but you're getting a brittle marginal quarterback who's making $24 million.
Right. And New England, the thing that they have going for them, besides all the free agents they signed, is all the players that are coming back from last season that opted out, that were mostly starters.
Yep.
So, I would rather them just, if they're going to go up, get the quarterback that they need, and trade up to Carolina at 8.
That's why I firmly believe New England's going to jump in front of Denver. Yeah.
And then Denver, if that happens, Denver should just trade back and get the draft capital.
Unless their guy's still there, and unless they got them both rated at the same place. And JJ, to your point, I mean, if it's Lance or Fields, do you take either one, or if it's, I mean, whoever. You like any of them but Mac Jones, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then here's the thing with Mac Jones, and I kind of agree. Mac Jones had 5 people on his team on the offense that are going to go possibly in the first round.
That's right.
Or second round.
Playing against guys who are not. No, it's absolutely true. So, all right, Lenny, we'll wrap about it afterwards. Thanks.
Guys, have a good one, man.
This break, 505-246-0610. So you're still at the point where you think it should be and will be quarterback.
Teddy Bridgewater does not change your draft scenario. I get it. All these teams want to trade back. Detroit probably wants to trade back. Carolina would like to get draft capital. But you have to have a trade partner. And if it's just New England, then it doesn't necessarily mean that all these teams, it's easy to trade back, because a lot of people want to trade back and get draft assets. Getting Teddy Bridgewater is just, hey, worst case scenario, at least we go in with a veteran to back up Drew Lock. It does not change your draft status. Because if you didn't notice, who's the team picking in front of Denver? And who was the quarterback of that team?
The team that just traded you Teddy Bridgewater. It's the team that just traded you, gave you Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah. Okay. 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. More draft talk when we get back on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever, no one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
In Doñana County yesterday, says Gopher. Stephanie was almost doing the OD solo this morning. I'm not sure. Were you down in Doñana County yesterday?
No, I was not.
Oops. All right, Gopher. Don't know.
I was not.
All right. Oh, a real bobcat was rescued from the top of an electrical pole there. He sent me a link. All right, cute. Cute. This one says, does Bobcat equal McQuatch Malawatch, Jeff? Malawatch is apparently still working out with Little Basketball while he decides if he wants to play with them next season. Is that the equivalent of Bobcat working the OD while he decides which show he is going to grace with his skills? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah. It is not my decision. I'm just filling in all over the place.
Bob Clark, you go over there?
You think I'm a multi-positional player? You know, I can play shortstop, second base, left field, that type of thing.
Yeah. And then when you get called, you know, the big club needs a starter for you know, a day game after a night game. Boom, get called up to the big show, and we get whatever you got. No, I get it.
All in.
No, that's not right.
He's just here so he doesn't get fined.
Yeah, and then there's that guy. All right, 246-0610 on the morning of the first day of the National Football League draft. So what do you see happening? Do the Niners know what they're going to do at number 3? Apparently, according to some reports, they've honed in on what they want. And I've seen everything, JJ. I mean, I think everybody's just guessing. Well, my sources tell me that they've settled on Mac Jones. Well, my sources tell me that reason they went up to Fargo, they fell in love with Trey Lance, and now that they're going with Trey Lance. Let me see what happens at number 3. I don't know. I honestly, there's more Mac Jones noise than Trey Lance noise, so I'm leaning that way. But
we have no idea. We have no idea. But San Francisco, in that building, the two people, Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, they know what card they're calling in for Roger Goodell to announce a pick. San Francisco knows. Us, it's all assumption, and then the different ways it's going to play out. You know who, we roll ahead with this quarterback talk, you know who's going to hit home runs in this first round, or need to? It's the NFC East. Because you have Dallas, the Giants, and Philadelphia, 10, 11, and 12, sitting there, and they could potentially either get the number 1 rated offensive lineman, the number 1 rated cornerback, or the number 1 rated linebacker in this draft. Yeah. Like, they're sitting there pretty going, go crazy over quarterbacks. Take a wide receiver in the top 10, and we'll let some of these guys fall to us.
Yeah, I think a lot of that's right. And they're just sitting there and they're protected. I mean, they're kind of protected at 10, 11, 12 because you tell me 5 quarterbacks are going to go and a receiver. You know the Bengals are going receiver, right? So I got 5 quarterbacks and a receiver going in the first 10, probably the number 1 offensive lineman. Okay, I'm right there with you. Edward, good morning. You're on the Quants Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Edward.
Hey, would you say Bobcat?
is the Julian Edelman of the sports animal. Like, he can return punts. He's probably the greatest slot receiver in the history of the game and delivers in big moments. And in the first Giants Super Bowl, he was the dime back on defense.
And a borderline Hall of Famer.
Julian Edelman of the sports animal.
And a borderline Hall of Famer, but not quite a Hall of Famer? Is that what you're telling him?
It could be. You know what's interesting is that caller after me the other day, he had a very succinct point around maybe we're judging him against the wrong set of numbers. We're judging him against wideouts generally. And would you judge halfbacks and running backs against fullback numbers? Pretty interesting point he made. I thought it was pretty good. Because the game's evolved. And as the game evolves, the concepts and how you rate people needs to evolve. So I thought it was a pretty good take. Hey, today isn't Christmas Day, the draft. It's more like the day after Halloween. Or as the natives call it, isn't it Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Living Dead? Where, Crusher puts up his Patriots Christmas tree. And then the schedule release is kind of like Thanksgiving Day. And then the playoffs, when they start, are kind of like the day after Thanksgiving when you go shopping. And, of course, the Super Bowl is Christmas Day, So I'm thoroughly excited. Hey, I was on the NFL Network, they show previous drafts, and they were showing Marty Schottenheimer at the tail end of Montana's career where they had gone like 10-6 the previous year, and they had 3 number 1 picks. And they documented it. And what was interesting, they wanted to get a running back, and I think they drafted 3 running backs, and they all busted. And it was in the waning moments of their first-round pick, like with 2 minutes left on the clock. This is how chaos ensued. And Marty Schottenheimer's like, with 2 minutes left on the clock, guys, after months of preparation, hey, does this guy have any character issues, and what's going on with his knee? I kid you not, 2 minutes left on the clock, and it was just in complete disarray and disorganization. And it was like Montana's last year, and I think they kind of flamed out in the playoffs or didn't make the playoffs. But and then they talked about when the Colts and Mel Kiper, where they wanted to get a quarterback, and they took a lineman and a linebacker, and they passed on a QB, and they went with Jim Harbaugh. And that's when Mel Kiper kind of blasted their GM, and the GM comes on and says, my neighbor knows more about football than Mel Kiper, and my neighbor works at the post office. It was just classic, just television. But regarding this year's draft, I did a little bit of research, and some of my favorite players. So Jerry Rice was drafted in the first round, number 16 overall, and widely considered one of the top 5 players of all time. Of course, Julian Edelman, borderline Hall of Famer, is probably the best 7th-round pick in the history of the game. Montana was drafted in the 3rd round, 82nd overall, widely regarded as a top 5 NFL player, and it's well documented. The greatest player in the 101-year history of the NFL was drafted in the 6th round at 199. But think about this, guys. The last 9 Super Bowls, which Brady's won 4 of the last 7, but Flacco, who won 1, was drafted in the 1st round at 18. Wilson, who, the Seahawks had picked up a quarterback and moved off him quickly. They picked up Wilson in the 3rd round at number 75, Russell Wilson. Foles went in the 3rd round as well when the Eagles, and they pulled off that miraculous win. And then, of course, the Chiefs moved up in the draft and went with their quarterback and benched him the first year, played him behind Smith, and Mahomes turned out to be just an incredible pick. So I think with what's going on this year in the draft, JJ, I think the Broncos got a steal with Bridgewater, giving up a 6. I would have loved it the Patriots moved up and got that. And, of course, maybe he can't throw deep, but I agree with you. You go into camp with a backup plan, and you've hedged your bets. And I think they pulled off a steal. I think that we're going to see sweeping moves today. I think the Patriots are going to move up. I do think they're going to re-sign Garoppolo on the cheap. And I think they're going to get the quarterback out of Ohio State. If I was the Cowboys, I'm not sure I'd be resigned to get the top defensive back, and I know they need defense. I would pick the best player available, even if it was an offensive lineman, because their offensive line is not as good as it used to be. And if your strength is your offense, then go with that. They have 10 overall picks, and you can strengthen your defense with 2nd and 3rd round picks, because a strong corner is critical, but it's not going to change your team. But if your offense is dynamic and you could pick up a great offensive lineman, then it only bolsters your offense. So I'm thoroughly elated. I appreciate you letting me share my thoughts. Go Patriots, and go Patriots South, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Have a delightful day, my friends.
I think Cowboys got to go defense, first of all. I think they've got to go defense. I'm looking at I don't even know whose mock draft this is on CBS. that has the Patriots taking Justin Fields, and then the Broncos going offensive lineman with Rashawn Slater, and the Patriots moving into the 10 spot, trading the Cowboys trading back and getting Trey Lance at 10. I think there's 1,000 scenarios, and somebody's going to hit it, and everybody else isn't. But that one's interesting to me too, right? If Justin, right?
It's all
Trey Lance,
fascinating.
yeah,
it is.
Really?
If it's Fields and Lance that fall, I think those are two good quarterbacks, and thus, who's going to call someone's bluff? Who's going to be the team that sits there, doesn't move up, and then potentially one of those guys actually falls to a reasonable spot?
Yeah. All right. Keep them coming. 505-246-0610 on draft morning, or the morning of the NFL draft first day. There'll be 3 days of this, by the way. You'll be sitting around Saturday afternoon watching round 5, round 6, and watching names go by. And what did my team get? Did the Rams finally get a pick? It's 3 days of this frivolity.
And you know why you'll be watching? Because it absolutely matters. Because when we look back here in a second on last year's first round, you're going to go, really? That happened? It wasn't great. But you know what's great? F45 functional training, because it has helped me take my fitness serious once again. I look forward to working out. I like working out. I remember how much it does help every other area of my life. And this past year, when everything was shut down, working out at home, it was hard to have that same motivation. And now that gyms are open, F45 is the gym that I look forward to going. And guess what? It can work with your schedule because it is high intensity training in a 45-minute class. We're talking strength work, cardio work, full body functional fitness at F45 Training. Check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app where you can sign up for your 7-day free trial. Get in the gym, experience it yourself, and you're going to like what it brings to the table. It's a new challenge every day. You're going to look at that schedule, go, I'm busy during the week, but maybe a Saturday and Sunday morning class can help give you that spark you need. Those classes have been clutch for me. So check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app. The atmosphere, it's been great. The trainers are there to help motivate and modify if needed. And the app, you book your class because, yes, you're still managing class size, so it's still going to be a comfortable atmosphere when you go get your workout. And you can find a time that will work for you at F45. The gym is located at 5920 Holly Northeast. Good access from wherever you're coming from in town. And if you're interested in trying it out, let me know. Hit me up. We'll book a class together. We'll go have some fun, and we'll get in a great workout. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Whether you hire one person or hire...
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
I like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Oh, beautiful feed inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice, intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Great pass to Richardson. Layups up and it's good. What a pass by Dominguez. Good job by Asia Mir. Splits two defenders, puts it up, scores, and is fouled. Great shot by Asia Mir.
dangerous pass. Johnson in transition. Look at him burst through with a hammer jam. Because the rebound. Ahead to Murillo. Murillo will put it down with authority.
I think we'll see that
Double
on the
pump
highlights.
slam. Wow.
Can I sing him happy birthday?
No, by all means.
Well, but before I do that, I want to make sure that, like, my papa, my dad, Mike Brown, this one's for you. We love you. Everybody out here loves you. I just want to make sure that you know that. You're the best coach, dad, everything in the world. I just want to make sure you know that. So, Zay, this one's for you, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zay, man. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. I'm here as much as you need me.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck. Micah, Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to the Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talk It Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You are watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and...
All right. I know you're thinking draft, and we're talking about it. We'll look at last year's at some point as well, and you can give that a little bit of a grade. 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. I'm seeing more and more Trey Lance to the Niners in a lot of these mock drafts. McShay's got New England not even moving up, just sitting at 15 and getting Mac Jones. So we'll see. We do know number 2, or at least we believe we know, Zach Wilson's going to the Jets. Sean, how you feeling? Good morning.
Doing well, gentlemen. How about yourself?
Excellent. What's happening?
So it's pretty much guaranteed Wilson's going at 2. But later on in that first round, the Jets have 23. Going into next year, our predicted starters so far are Bryce Hall and Bless Austin. If Newsome is there at 23, Jets need to take him.
Cornerback from Northwestern.
Cornerback. if somehow Horn or Certain were to fall there, unbelievable. It'd be the best night for the Jets. But I can guarantee you there is no Jets fan that is sitting tonight without alcohol in front of them.
Is that different than any other night?
No.
Just asking.
But there's a little more special feeling in the air tonight.
Yeah. Newsom is probably, he's a cornerback from Northwestern. I just don't think either one of those other two guys, I think the Cowboys are probably going to take everything I see, and I think it makes sense to me no matter what Edwards said. I think Certain makes sense at number 10, and which is going to make Tommy happy. And you got a good cover guy. And for a team that third worst completion percentage allowed, they were allowing almost 70% of the passes completed against them. And so this is where they got to go.
I think 11 spots later we go edge. The Jets haven't had a decent edge rusher, and almost the entire team I've been a fan. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm looking forward to tonight. I appreciate you, gentlemen. Thank you for keeping us all entertained through what has been probably the worst year for sports. It's been fun. I'm glad we're getting on the other end of it now.
Beautiful. No, thank you, Sean. It's been a rough year to do sports talk radio. See you. It's been a rough year to do sports talk radio, JJ.
Well, we're going back to about this time last year. Things got a little interesting for sure, but this is a huge evening for the New York Jets and Jacksonville Jaguars. Even if they hit just 66% on their first 3 picks, that's huge. Because you look at Jacksonville also, well, they're getting Trevor Lawrence. They have 125-33. For the Jets, it's 223-34. So this is a huge night, and then into tomorrow, the first 2 picks for both those teams.
Mm-hmm. Jacksonville at what'd you say? They have 25, right? And what do? They've got to go offensive line, don't they? At that point,
potentially, and I think it is not, to me, a certainty that Patrick Surtain has to be drafted at 10, because Trayvon Diggs was drafted at 51, and if Penny Sewell somehow is still there, that you still have to protect Dak Prescott. And so, to me, my philosophy usually in a top 10, it's either get the quarterback if you need it, protect the quarterback, or rush the passer. So to me, it's not a crazy thing if Dallas goes offensive line there, because that helped establish what that offense was doing. So I think that's, if you're 10, 11, 12, you're sitting near those teams, you're going to have a field day with the options available.
So you think Penny Smith slips past, like the Lions need?
That feels like the one spot he would go,
right?
In the top 10 would be Detroit.
They just need help. And he's the offensive tackle from Oregon that is rated at the top of the offensive lineman list. I do believe that the Bengals and Dolphins are going to go receiver 5-6. And while the Lions need a receiver, and you got a Heisman Trophy sitting there available, I think they need to go with the short thing, or at least the shortest thing, offensive lineman at that point. And look, there's Slater, there's Sewell, both of them sitting there. So you think that if Slater's sitting there, the Broncos should take him instead of Surtain?
The Cowboys. I don't think it's crazy.
That's what I meant. The Cowboys.
I meant
the Cowboys. Yeah, I meant the Cowboys.
Tyron Smith hasn't been playing. Center just retired.
505-246-0610. What's your team going to do? NFL draft starts tonight. Stephanie's working with Robert Catt back there, kind of looking over his shoulder. All right, what if I press this button? What does this one do? It's the opening drive. On 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal and ProView Network.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer Zero for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced. We're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from YAFL to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up.
I think there's so many good secrets being kept, which doesn't happen that much in the NFL draft. I think that the Niners pick. I mean, I just watched McShay and Kuiper's mock draft, and they totally differ at 3. McShay's got Trey Lance going to the Niners. Mac Jones is who Kuiper's got. You got. I saw they both have Justin Fields going to the Broncos, but then a bunch of other people are saying, nope, Patriots are going to get Justin Fields. I think someone's jumping up, JJ. It's somebody that's not on the front page of the radar. Bears, Washington, somebody's going to jump into this quarterback mix and really mix things up and come at it, and you're just going to go, whoa, and really jack this whole thing up in the top 9. I firmly believe that.
And I think Justin Fields and Trey Lance are 2 players that can cause that frenzy. Because if you're coming up from 19 or 20, you're going to have to pay a steeper price than what San Francisco did.
That's right.
San Francisco gave up multiple first-round picks. Are you really giving up 3 first-round picks right now if you're one of those teams? No, I don't see it. But guess what? It's a draft. And we could sit here tomorrow and go, oh, my gosh, my mind is blown. And which is kind of crazy to me that San Francisco is sitting on this pick so much in terms of it hasn't leaked out who they're going to take, because it doesn't matter. They're at 3. They know it's not Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson.
It's the game. Chances of Atlanta picking for or trading for. Are they sold on Kyle Pitts, or at some point can the price get to your point when you just talk about how expensive it can get? What's their price to move?
It's to move out of the top 10. You're going to have to give up a boatload to Atlanta. Like, you're going to have to give up 3 first-round picks, a couple 2s. So it's going to be outrageous.
That is a lot. All right.
Because if you're Atlanta, why would you drop from 4 down for just outside the top 10?
Yeah,
if it's not for a boatload. Yeah.
Jerry, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Jerry.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call, guys.
Thanks for calling. What's up?
Well, 2 things. First of all, so I teach over at Volcano Vista, and I just want to say how excited I am that we're going to get to see some of our kids play in our gym in the postseason. I know you guys mentioned earlier, not all the schools are going to get that, but for the postseason teams, I'm just real excited to watch some sports in person. Anyways, I was calling about the 49ers, and I just want to, like, the more I think about this, the 49ers, they trade up to number 3 a few weeks ago, and first of all, if they're trading for Mac Jones, why is that deal not something that's done on draft day or on draft night, right? That's not as big of a jump, and you can get that done the day of. In my head, the reason you trade up to number 3 is, A, because you have a guy, but also they do it so soon because I also think you're doing that just to cause chaos, right? You're putting all the other teams in a situation where they have no idea what's happening. And you think about the 49ers specifically, like, they are notorious for not leaking any kind of information. Like, you think back, they did the Trent Williams contract extension. Nobody knows about it until it happens. Nobody has any scoop on the George Kittle extension. They trade for the 3rd pick overall out of nowhere. And even historically, like many of the bigger trades they've made, Quan Alexander, Emmanuel Sanders, none of them had any scoops whatsoever. So just consider that I'm super skeptical that anyone has any idea what the 49ers are doing, except for Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. I personally think that they're taking Justin Fields and have been all along. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it were Trey Lance. And I honestly am just never watching football again if they do pick Mac Jones. It's just the way that I see it. But yeah, so that's my 2 cents on the whole thing, is that I think it's all smoke screen, and they just want to cause chaos to give the other teams a hard time, because this whole thing's just a game, you know?
I think, Jerry, there's a good chance that it could be a smokescreen. I also think there's a good chance that you've seen your last football game and are going to ask JJ where the best soccer package is and how to start finding international football. Yeah.
I hope it's not true. I hope it's not true.
Yeah, I like football too much to make those sorts of things, but and so being a Rams fan, I hope they take Mac Jones. Like I don't think I've ever hated a franchise, but the franchise I like the least in pro sports is the 49ers. So I would love to see them go into that chaos and take Mac Jones and it not work out, kind of like as much as you want them to go the other way.
The feeling's mutual, by the way.
No, it should be. And it should be, Jerry. And I like you a lot. I'm not a big fan of your team, which I like some Niner fans. I just don't like their team. So that's beautiful. That's how it's supposed to be. Beautiful. So that in that case, I hope they don't take Mac Jones so you stay a football fan. But call us again, Jerry. It's a great call. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Bud.
Is that okay that I told them I don't like your team? I mean, I didn't say I don't like you, right?
You're not sitting there going, you know what? This Padres and Dodgers thing is pretty cool because I win either way.
Yeah, that's exactly
not here for that.
Right. Check out who's next. He can't stay away. Hey, can you come in and fill in next Friday? Because Bob's going over to fill in on. Oh, it's Friday. You call it a hoe?
It's Thursday.
I'm calling a special hoe.
Whoa! I'm like, wait, what happened just now? All right, Micah, go hoe. Because you're not gonna be here tomorrow. Micah. I dig the song. I just can't hoe on Thursday because then I got to come in tomorrow and it's not going to feel the same way. No. What's up, man? How you living?
I'm doing good. What's up, guys? I just wanted to call, on the biggest day of my life. I mean, I've only been a first pick lock since I was a sophomore, so I'm excited to head to Jacksonville tonight. Sorry. That was my PR guy. What I meant to say was that I'm excited to figure out where I'm going to be headed tonight, wherever that might be in the draft, and I definitely do want to play football.
That's good. That's good. You wanted to play the whole time. Do you have what's your suit looking like? I mean, you got to really is it more conservative or are you going super flashy?
It's a little bit like my wedding suit a couple weeks ago. I decided I look good in one color.
Yeah, that's good. Hey, can you come in and work next Friday? Bob, or I guess Stephanie's going to be in. Bobcat's decided that since Francina's taken the day off, he's got to go over and do, they call him up to the big leagues, and he's doing Bob Clark's show. And so they're training Stephanie, so it'll be her first run on our show.
Man, if you ever need me, I'm always there to pinch hit.
No. I'm just saying.
She'll do just fine.
I know
guys.
She will.
Well, I just thought I'd call on draft day. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys go Micah Parsons at number 10. Just saying.
JJ likes Micah Parsons a lot, too. Yeah, JJ likes. Hey, how's the new gig? You having to put on real clothes every day and go in and be respectable?
No, it's actually quite the opposite. I had to put on real clothes to go into the studio. Now I get to wear sweats like you guys and stay at home.
All right, May 10th, that may change, Just saying. May 10th. All right, man.
All right, guys.
Good to hear Micah. Miss him. Not that we don't love you, Bobcat. You just always,
yeah, I know.
He's good. He's a good young man. You like Micah Parsons for them, don't you? You like Micah Parsons better than Surtain? I think they've got to go defense. To your point, I hear you on the offensive line. You've got the two. You got the guy from Oregon, the guy from Northwest. You got two really good offensive linemen that I think go 6'7". I just for me, I just think they've got to go defense. You think maybe they go linebacker instead of defensive back?
Well, I think offensive tackle, cornerback, or Micah Parsons is not a bad pick for Dallas. Bad pick would be Kyle Pitts. Would be like
I don't know about
any
bad
Jalen
pick
Waddle.
For anybody.
Like it's
Jalen
good,
Waddle
but
more than
that's
Kyle Pitts.
Like you're not doing anything that you don't already have the ability to do. Because how many yards did Dak Prescott throw for last year, and how many wins did you have?
Yeah.
So offensive tackle wouldn't be crazy to me, but you got to start slowing people down. So that's why we're all looking at defense. Yes.
All right. I don't think Kyle Pitts would be a bad pick for anybody, including them. He's not going to be there. I'm fine with all that. All that's. To me, they got to stop someone, man. They've got to stop someone. I understand they got to protect that quarterback too. They got to stop someone. 505-246-0610. Keep them coming. You just blew Dan's world, Bob. Thursday, Ho and Micah, Jeffrey, Juan Jose, and Bobcat. My world was just rocked. A Thursday, Ho? So, Dan, honestly, when you played that song, I'm like, oh, yeah, it's Friday. Wait, no, it's not. I literally, my equilibrium completely went off kilter.
Didn't get a chance to clear it with you, but I thought it would be fun. A special guest,
Special guest, Ho. Yeah. Micah John. All right. 246-0610. Keep them coming. You can watch our program every day. ProView Networks puts it on the air for you. It's on their YouTube channel, ProView Networks. It's on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM. Aaron's producing there. Bobcat takes your calls. Area code 505-246-0610. JJ, when we come back, take a look. And as much as we sit here and talk, and we know, what do we know about last year's draft a year later? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
For training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green. And keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
I like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Oh, beautiful feet inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice, intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Great pass to Richardson. Layups up and it's good.
Another
what
play.
A pass by Dominguez. Good job by Asia Amir. Splits two defenders, puts it up, scores, and is fouled. Great shot by Asia Amir.
Dangerous pass. Johnson in transition. Look at him burst through with a hammer jam.
Rebound. Ahead to Murillo. Murillo will put it down with the authority.
I think we'll see that
Double
on the
pump
highlights.
slam. Wow.
Can I sing him happy birthday?
No, by all means. That's
Well, but before I do that, I want to make sure that, like, my papa, my dad, Mike Brown, this one's for you. We love you. Everybody out here loves you. I just want to make sure that you know that. You're the best coach, dad, everything in the world. I just want to make sure you know that. So, Zay, this one's for you, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zay, man. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. I'm here as much as you need me.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Did you blow Dan's mind by hoeing on a Thursday? I mean, we all got to. What on earth is it? Is it Friday? I don't know. I got to work tomorrow. I do. JJ, your favorite events this weekend, and go for once. Talk about the Kentucky Derby. We'll do that later. He's got number 9, by the way. Red Hot Charlie. Is that your horse, Red Hot Charlie?
I was more on the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but I could go with Red Hot Charlie.
Yeah, it might not be an option for you. All right. Draft tonight, 6 o'clock. First pick, Trevor Lawrence. And then number 2 will be Zach Wilson to the Jets. And then it will all get interesting. And that's what you all are talking about this morning. And everybody knows, but the beauty is nobody knows. You look back at last year. And we always sit here and talk about, well, tell me 3 years later how this worked out. It's kind of like the recruiting class. Well, let me know in a couple of years, right? Where do you think the first misstep was? When you look back, Joe Burrow was right. Chase Young was terrific. Okudah was good. You start going Andrew Thomas, Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, the Chargers did it 6 with Herbert. Where did it go wrong for you where you would go back and say, oh, they know better now?
I look at 4 and Andrew Thomas because Mekhi Becton, I thought he was the best tackle in the draft, and he went 11 to the Jets, and then Tristan Wirfs, Iowa, 13 to Tampa Bay. They were much better players than Andrew Thomas, the offensive tackle from Alabama, that went 4 to the New York Giants. There was, I'm not sure what the year C.J. Henderson had. I have to go back and talk to some my Jaguar buddy on that one, the cornerback from Florida, that went 9. And then, of course, we saw that wide receiver run with Ruggs, Judy, CeeDee Lamb, going early teens to mid-teens, and then you look at it in early second round, there were some home runs, and that's the thing is, yes, quarterbacks get inflated, but this entire draft can change your franchise. Because you look at T. Higgins, he was the first pick of the second round, and he became the number 1 wide receiver in Cincinnati. Jonathan Taylor went 41 in this draft. And by the way, Tampa Bay was just hit home runs right out the gate. They got
Winfield at 45.
Jr. at 45. Chase Claypool went 49. And then Trayvon Diggs, 51, Dallas Cowboys. They got a starting cornerback.
Yeah, you don't know where they're coming from. Cam Akers became a starting running back for the Rams, although he couldn't stay healthy at 52. To your point, you could say the best receiver in the first round was Justin Jefferson, and I think he was the third one taken. But you've got good.
He was the 5th one selected.
Was he the 5th one?
Yeah, because you had Ruggs.
Yeah, CeeDee Lamb. Yeah,
Lamb,
Rager,
Judy, Rager.
Jefferson. Yeah, you're right. 5th. Yeah. So you look at Jordan Love didn't register at 26, and then your point on the second round is so right. T. Higgins made a huge impact. Michael Pittman made an impact for Indianapolis. I thought Taylor was a huge impact and became a good player. Chenault's going to be good. All these are second round guys. So that second day, and then what Winfield did defensively for Tampa Bay, and the impact that he had was huge. The Chase Claypool impact for the Steelers. And look, I think DeAndre Swift is second round running back for the Lions. He's going to be probably their running back that they haven't had. And what was the last 1,000-yard rusher the Lions had? And it's been documented. It's been years. They found their guy in the second round. So look, today's big. Tomorrow's I think second round is also. I'm not going to sit here and tell you as big, but maybe it is as big because your team's built second, third, fourth round.
The first round has the bigger bust potential. Like, the first one will get you fired, and that's why we're all caught up on it, because quarterbacks. Like, drafting the wrong quarterback, you lose your job. Drafting the wrong wide receiver, offensive lineman, not so much. You might be able to work through that, but drafting the wrong quarterback will get you fired sooner rather than later, even if you are a first-year head coach, because that window now we know is only 2 to 3 years in this league. And by the way, the best safety could have actually been the last pick of the first round. We look at Jeremy Chin, that was selected by Carolina, and he had a phenomenal season. So these days matter, and we're sitting here and we get caught up on quarterback contracts and the money that are paid to certain players. Franchises are good because of what they do these 3 days.
Now, you don't have to draft first to get a big player. Was Clyde Edwards-Helaire pretty big? Was that an impact player for the Kansas City Chiefs and helped them get to the Super Bowl? I understand he got hurt. But your point's right. It doesn't have to be number 1. Brandon Ayuk was good for the Niners, and he went 25. Like guys, and go down the draft. You can go down, find third-round players that were big. This is where these guys make their money. Your point on getting fired for the wrong quarterback is right. So the biggest bust potential in the draft is the guy with the biggest upside. It's your number one pick. The expectations that are put on Trevor Lawrence right now are stupid. And I saw a conversation yesterday, who's got the biggest bust potential, and it was, I think it was phrased, will he exceed expectations or not? And the answer is not, because expectations, this is the highest expectations on a quarterback since Andrew Luck, right? This is the last guy that, you can't miss a quarterback, was Andrew Luck, right? And did he exceed expectations? He never got to a Super Bowl, right? He got hurt. His career got cut short. So you would say he came up short for a number one guy out of Stanford who had everything, who was an absolute can't miss, who there was nothing he couldn't do. I just think the expectations on Trevor Lawrence are so high for a franchise who's so down. I mean, look, there's a reason.
I'm scared for Trevor Lawrence.
For him? Well,
I think Trevor Lawrence is I think Trevor Lawrence is Andrew Luck. Like, we're looking at it, and we're never going to question Andrew Luck's ability. Like, he got broken in half, and lost, what was it, spleen ripped open, and it just body let him down. And that's what worries me about Trevor Lawrence, because I look at that and I go, that dude can be one of the best players in this league. But I don't know what Urban Meyer is going to be. I don't know how teams are going to react to him, how he's going to keep that locker room together. So this could be one where we're not talking about Trevor Lawrence because we have such a high belief in him. But to your point, that ceiling is so high, he could be a bust just because the franchise lets him down.
So you think he could be right guy, wrong place, right? I mean, you think if he was going to the Niners, you'd feel a lot better about it. If he was going to the Broncos, the Patriots, you'd feel a lot better about it. But because you're so, I think a lot of it is how you feel about what Urban Meyer's going to do. And I know you and I feel differently. I think Urban Meyer's going to do well there in the short term. And short term to me means 3 years. But we feel differently on that. But yeah, I just don't know how he meets expectations, let alone exceed them, because they're so high. Hawk, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Hawk.
Hey, fellas, what you got going on this morning? Kudo
Good,
draft.
everything's good. How you living?
I'm living large. Hey, just a quick, I want to get a quick take. Who do you think the Saints are going to pull the trigger on? Is there a Dak Prescott out there? Are they going to go something other than quarterback? I'll sit back and listen, fellas.
All right, see you. Saints are going, where are they going? They're, where do you have?
They're 28 in the first round. Yep.
So they can go a lot of places. I see a lot of places of them going receiver. I don't know what's going to be left offensive line for them. I'll tell you what I think the Saints have done a lot, really well, is build up what was a horrible defense 3 years ago into a pretty good defense. I think they're going to go best player at 28. It could be receiver. It could be offensive line. Where do you got them?
So there's really 5 guys that are standing out to me at wide receiver, and I could see that being a need for them because you have Michael Thomas and what?
Getting older.
So helping out, whether it's Taysom Hill or Jameis Winston, whoever ends up winning that job. And those are also prime candidate to move back. If someone wants to come in and take a Davis Mills or grab someone in there. So, yeah, for the Saints, it feels like it's best player available because they're pretty solid overall. You're not getting a difference maker at quarterback at 28, but maybe there's a team that you can trade back, get a couple more picks for.
Yeah. What did I tell you? They're 25, 26? Where do I got them?
They're 28.
28. Yeah. They can go defensive back there, too. I mean, I see a lot of different things. I would tell you, Hawk, they can go anywhere. I think they're going to go, to me, is what best player on their board available. That could be Caleb Farley, the cornerback. They can go with a receiver. They've tried a lot of different number 2s there, right? And Michael Thomas was beat up. Michael Thomas gave you nothing near Michael Thomas last year. Nothing near the former Taft Toreador, great Michael Thomas. And so I think they could go cornerback. They can go receiver. All right, 505-246-0610. You can keep them coming there, 888-922-0610. What's your team going to do? Emails are coming in this morning, Jeff@sportsanimалabq.com, JJ@sportsanimалabq.com on the Twitter, _JJ Buck. You can fire at JJ. You should follow him as well. And on the Facebook, where you can watch our show, Aaron's producing on ProView Networks. It's the OD in the AM.
Are you feeling like a first-round pick yet? Maybe it's time you work yourself into shape. Let me tell you about F45 functional training. At F45 training, you get high-intensity, full-body workouts that are fast, fun, and results-driven. The 45 stands for 45 minutes. You're not going to have to give up a lot of time to take control of your fitness. There's a lot going on. It's easy to forget about what you're going to do. Life gets busy. You're working. You got family stuff. And like, oh, yeah, by the way, what am I doing about my fitness? Well, F45 is here in a manageable time frame that's going to give you a workout that's going to catapult you to that first round draft pick status. It has given me the energy once again to work out, to focus on getting the workout in 7 days a week. And with F45 functional training, they have classes available those 7 days. Whether you need to work out Saturday, Sunday morning, something pops up, and the day your schedule opens up. So check them out, f45training.com. Download the F45 app. On the app, you can sign up for your 7-day free trial. Take a look at the schedule of classes. It's a new class every day to keep your mind and body moving forward. The gym is located at 5920 Holly Northeast, so it's good access from wherever you're coming from in the city, and you're going to really enjoy it. So check out the 7-day free trial. Download the app, sign up, and I will see you at F45 training. Team training, life-changing, and you will not regret the decision to join me at F45.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Micah. Josh produces for you today over on the ProView Network side, where you can watch the show worldwide on ProViewNetworks.com or statewide at Comcast Channel 26.
Hey, welcome to the Steve Davis Show.
Good morning and welcome to Sports Desk live on Comcast Channel 26.
Welcome to The Point with Nick Rich.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 10, America Talking Out.
I'm Pastor Flora Padilla of Mending Broken Hearts.
Welcome to Henry T. Game Face Live, Comcast 26, and Big Bad ProView Network.
Often imitated, never duplicated. Welcome to Local Focus with Sebastian Noel.
Welcome, sports fans. It's that time of the week again. You're watching the Weekly Rundown.
Hey, welcome to Red Menace TV here on ProView Network.
Hello, I'm Steve Davis. You are watching Public Access TV.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever, no one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here.
Starts right. 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
Baseball lost yesterday to Texas Tech out in Lubbock. Final was 10-4. Lobos will now go to Fresno. They'll play a set with the Bulldogs over the weekend. Maurice is kind of glad, JJ, that Ray's leaving. He said, Omaha. Jeff, yesterday we saw two teams in beautiful Lubbock, Texas. One might be in the periphery of clubs you think have a shot to go to Omaha. The other, Omaha, is just deflection and distraction to disguise the real state of the program. Okay? See if you're better off or not in 2 years from now. All right? It's going to go one way or the other.
While Ray hasn't gotten to Omaha, he has not been a failure at the University of New Mexico.
So it's funny because he set those high standards. It's kind of the Trevor Lawrence thing, right? I mean, can you meet expectations when expectations are really high? And if you don't, does that mean you're a failure? Right? And to me, the answer is no. Ray's not a failure because he didn't get this thing to Omaha and set those expectations.
And you have to look at what he's been able to do. He's done a lot for the student athletes, the field, the clubhouse that they have available. Being successful in conference, the last couple years have been tough. But if you look at what they were dealing with, some of the situations that they went through, I don't look at it as an outright failure because they didn't get to Omaha. And that's what you want. You want coaches with those expectations, with those beliefs. Regionals, but not Omaha.
I agree. All right, 246-0610, 888-922-0610. A couple other things going on. Jacob deGrom, 9 strikeouts last night. He's broke Nolan Ryan's record for most strikeouts in the first 5 starts. Lenny called in earlier. They lose last night, 1-0 did the Mets to the Red Sox. I've seen guys, and he's right, Seaver used to not get a lot of run support. It's uncanny. And I get it, usually you're up against their ace too, but it's uncanny the lack of support the Mets give him game in and game out.
It is, and that's why, pitchers, it's one thing, you just can't get caught up on wins because Jacob deGrom is unbelievable. And it is crazy. Like, is it mental Like, is it all of a sudden creeping into that clubhouse? Is they, oh, DeGrom's on the mound, we got to score. And then they end up having, like, their worst offensive nights. It's crazy how many times that this happens to the New York Mets, where they get an outing like that. And to your point, aces don't always line up. Like, these rotations, off days, this, that. Like, Nick Pivetta was pitching for the Red Sox. Do you know who that is? Most people have no idea. And yet the Mets couldn't score.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is uncanny, the lack of support that he gets. But it's almost like start after start after start, the way that goes down. All right, draft today. It's a 3-day deal. And if you want to get in on it, you can. I kind of expect to hear it from some point. Tommy's all in on Surtain, right? Like, where's Josh on? They took down the Chargers banner, though. Are you guys still a Charger house over there at ProView Network now that the Charger banner's down?
Nah, I'm a Detroit house, and as long as I'm in here, we're going Peniswell or whatever his name is.
Penny Sewell?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, you don't have to know his name. Yeah, we don't care about it. We just
as long as he does his
Penny
job.
Sewell. Yeah, as long as the
He's
guy
a
can
lineman.
block and
His name never gets called anyways.
unless he did something wrong.
Like I said, his name will never get called anyways.
He's all in. That makes a lot of sense for the Lions at that point in time, going with the best offensive tackle in the draft. And these teams at the back end, the NFC East, I think could have a huge night. 10, 11, 12. The Cowboys, Giants, and Eagles. We're still talking about maybe the number 1 cornerback, number 1 linebacker on the board, number 2 offensive tackle. A lot of work needs to be done for a lot of these franchises, no doubt. That's why we heard talking about the NFL draft and drafting in the top 15. But with what the quarterbacks are doing, with what could happen, pushing some really good talent down the board, this could be some of the best value we see with some of these picks this year.
I think some of the stuff that you get at 6, 7, 8, and I mean, look, Penny Sewell at 7 is the best lineman in the draft, and a guy that in some years would be a top 3 pick, right? A top 2 pick in some years. If you want to go with the lineman from Northwestern, Rashawn Slater, who I've seen it places dropping down to 13, right? I think that's a terrific pick. The number 2 rated on everybody's board, offensive lineman. If you're looking for an edge rusher, Kwity Paye from Michigan is going to be there in the teens, potentially, at least in the double digits. J.C. Horn, there's two corners at the top, right? There's J.C. Horn and there's Patrick Surtain. J.C. Horn from South Carolina, Surtain from Alabama, who are going to be there. That if you need somebody, look, and then somehow Devontae Smith is going to drop into the double digits. He's your Heisman Trophy winner, the slot receiver from Alabama. To your point, the value from after the Broncos pick, so let's just say 10 to 18, 10 to 20 is going to be terrific. And I think everybody's going to come out just going, yeah, because those teams already, for the most part, think they're set at quarterback. So fans of those teams are just going to look at it and say, we got the guy we wanted, right? Oh, he's the guy we wanted. You're going to hear that a ton today. That's the guy we targeted. That's who we were targeting.
And it's a little bit different, too, when you look at Cincinnati and Miami. Cincinnati having selected Joe Burrow number 1 overall last year, and Miami is a team that wouldn't be picking here, usually. So that's going off the board, potentially going a luxury pick makes more sense, because I don't like skill players in the top 10. Like wide receivers, running backs, I'm not big on that. But it's different when you look at, Miami, they wouldn't be here usually. So this is a luxury pick for them coming off of the trade with Houston. So I get, given the fact that Joe Burrow and Tua were selected last year, I'm potentially giving them another weapon to be successful. But usually I'm all about, all right, quarterbacks, you get it, top of the draft, but offensive tackles and pass rushers at this point in time to build in the trenches, attack the quarterback, protect the quarterback, win football games.
Kind of crazy the way the majority of the mocks have 5 and 6. Jamar Chase, the wide receiver out of LSU, going to the Bengals to be reunited with former LSU quarterback Joe Burrow, and then Jalen Waddle at 6 from Alabama to go back to the guy he played with his quarterback in college. I mean, you're going to have with Tua Tagovailoa, It's really, I can't think, and I don't know that it's ever happened, that you got these two young quarterbacks who were looking and reuniting with the guys in large respect who got them drafted at the top of the draft, right?
Yeah, and by the way, I am all in on Devontae Smith. Like, this league is made for quarterbacks and wide receivers. Like, if I'm looking around, I'm like, aren't people complaining that it's so hard to cover? And this guy's athleticism, separation, ability, catch radius, I don't care if he weighs 160 pounds, you can't hit him at the line of scrimmage, so his quickness, he's going to beat cornerbacks. He's going to be fantastic. If he falls into the mid-teens, that is a great pick there for a team, because this league is built for wide receivers.
Eagles at 12?
No.
Okay.
I think when you're looking at 10, 11, 12, it is impact the trenches or stop somebody.
Eagles need a receiver.
They need everything. So
yeah.
By the way, for the Eagles, whatever they pick is a need.
They needed.
So to your point, yeah, if they get Devontae Smith, you know what? They get a really good player at 12. So yes.
Eagles at 12 to me actually makes a ton of sense. All right, 505-246-0610. Keep the draft stuff coming. Your emails are coming in. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com on the Twitter, _JJ Buck, and on the Facebook, the OD and the AM. Aaron is producing there, and look who's pushing buttons now. Stephanie's driving the ship for us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Make a better breakfast choice at Wendy's in the...
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradies.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspets.com.
I like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Oh, beautiful feed inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice, intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Great pass to Richardson. Layups up and it's good. What a pass by Dominguez. Good job by Asia Amir. Splits two defenders, puts it up, scores, and is fouled. Great shot by Asia Amir.
Dangerous pass. Johnson in transition. Look at him burst through with a hammer jam.
Eagles the rebound. Ahead to Murillo. Murillo will put it down with the authority.
I think we'll see that
Double
on the
pump
highlights.
slam. Wow.
Can I sing him happy birthday?
No, by all means.
Well, but before I do that, I want to make sure that, like, my papa, my dad, Mike Brown, this one's for you. We love you. Everybody out here loves you. I just want to make sure that you know that. You're the best coach, dad, everything in the world. I just want to make sure you know that. So, Zay, this one's for you, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zay, man. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. I'm here as much as you need me.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Inside 10 hours now for Trevor Lawrence to be the number one pick in the 2021 NFL draft. It'll be it's kind of going to be interesting to watch the draft. What did they say? 50,000 people or something in Cleveland. It's all outside today. They're doing the draft. It's like it's also going to be an event. It's going to be almost a welcome back, welcome open event. Last year's draft, if you recall, was that bizarre COVID Zoom. Everybody, Bill Belichick sitting at his desk in his office, and I mean, this is going to be back to the more conventional war room draft, where I wonder if you're going to see less. JJ, last year, everybody in the draft. Remember the way the NFL did it? Everybody was given kind of a little draft kit. Everybody who was potentially going to get drafted, and not everybody, but got this camera sent to them or got a link to go to set up, and we were in everybody's living room, and it was actually really, really cool. Like I I see you shaking your head, Aaron. I've never been a draft guy. Like, I've never been that guy who's got to watch the draft. I honestly, for the majority of I could care less. I'm watching tonight because I think there's so much intrigue. It's certainly in the top 15. But I watched last year because it was so enjoyable to me to see inside, not just the war rooms, or see Andy Reid sitting in his home office, or guys with their kids, although that was good. To see the genuine excitement of these families, I just wonder if we're going to get that as much this year. Like, is it possible a COVID draft is better TV than what we may watch tonight?
I guess we're not going to get Bill Belichick's dog reactions.
Damn it!
So that's a thing. It's cool that we saw, Andy Reid's home office. But I think more so than anything, it's last year showed that.
Don't poo-poo me.
What's on the shelf? Oh, like, your background's fantastic. Got the Mexico Bowl trophy. Like, that's cool. I think what last year's draft showed and kind of opened the eyes to a lot of coaches, and we've had these conversations with some coaches we talked to, is it's okay to not be in the building 24 hours a day. Like, you can still get things done and maybe be at home a little bit.
Yeah, so as I said, the best part wasn't necessarily Bill Belichick's dog or what they're back. It was the players and their families' reactions. To me, that was the bonus of that draft. Everybody, and maybe they'll still do that. Like, maybe why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't anybody? Here's the link. Keep it up in your home, and here's the link to put your home on national television. It wasn't necessarily Bill Belichick's dog. It was the reaction of a lineman from pick your university who got picked in the 3rd round, and that was the kind of cool stuff to me. And again, for a guy who doesn't just sit there and watch a draft, and maybe I'm not.
Well, they had that stuff other years.
Not
draft pick
not
families.
every dude. Not every dude. I mean, they had select
They had
guys
some
that they
more,
were.
but
Okay. All right. Well, then poo-poo me all you want.
I don't think it's
I'll
poo-poo.
I'm not watching the draft.
That's not what I meant to do at all.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I'm interested to see that.
Right? It's the human element of it. It's the storytelling. So I absolutely get where you're coming from. That moment you see, and last year a lot of it too was the, oh no, we're in the shot, get everyone out. But just the that it's an impactful moment, and those things matter. I'm with you on that. Just seeing the moment in your life, you're like, man, I just became an NFL draft pick.
Yeah, it was cool as hell. Although trying to decide who had a better spread, Cliff Kingsbury or Sean McVay, which draft house was better, the Arizona Cardinals Scottsdale home or the Manhattan Beach or wherever he was, Sean McVay. That was also pretty sweet. The Rams may win the draft on that this year.
Yeah, I think Cliff Kingsbury's spot won last year, and that is why we see what the Rams did this year.
Shirts off, no first-round pick, everybody out by the pool.
They can kick back and relax. They don't need to worry about anything tonight.
They got no assets to jump into the first round, so whatever. Their first-round pick was Matthew Stafford, a 33-year-old quarterback who's been around the league a little bit. All right, Richard's proposing a new segment called Hey, Hey, JJ. He says, I think the OD, Jeff, needs a new daily segment called Hey, Hey, JJ, devoted to the co-host talking about the latest from his teams, the Pumpkins, the Nuggets, and his newest club, the San Diego Padres.
Music, 1 minute.
Why could Carolina send a quarterback and $7 million big ones to Denver? Did they just feel sorry for the mile-high dump after they sent their best major league player and $50 million to St. Louis?
Why? Because you just traded for Sam Darnold.
Or $7 million. I did think about that, though, the Nolan Arenado stuff, when that all came down. Hey, hey, JJ. It's the opening drive. Who's producing? Stephanie? Bobcat? I don't know. All right, Bobcat is. It's the opening drive on ProView Networks, 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
DCE Systems want to help schools reopen and keep the students, teachers, and staff safe. We can also help every business reopen and keep their employees and customers safe as well. Don't just disinfect. Novalent antimicrobial technology provides ongoing residual protection against bacteria and viruses and is proven to last up to 90 days. That's right, up to 90 days. Call us today at 505-507-7722 or go to DCESystemsInc.com to learn more. DCE Systems are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
For your business or your home, Valley Fence stands alone. We're number one in New Mexico for a reason. It's the best fence you can own. Proudly serving New Mexico for over 50 years. At Valley Fence, the difference is clear. No fence too big, too small, or difficult. We handle them all at Valley Fence Company.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. There at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever. No one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
5 years running. This is the opening drive with two-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda, and JJ Buck.
So who are these guys? Who are they all at the top of the draft? Oh, you know a lot of them. Everybody knows these guys. Everybody knows the quarterbacks. Everybody knows the superstars, right? Maybe not. Maybe you can make $100 if you don't know who they are. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and JJ Buck. JJ studying the mock drafts. What are you studying so intently as we get ready for tonight's big first round?
Oh, I'm studying.
You got a game tonight?
I do have a game. I'll be at Volcano Vista for Hawks Jaguars. Girls varsity basketball, 7 o'clock on ProView Networks. So last night, potentially, of an empty gym, so look forward to seeing everyone this weekend back inside.
Turning green is Bernalillo County, and so 25% capacity inside, 50% outdoors, which is big for the high school sports. Really big for everybody, and looking forward to that. All right, if you want to get on the draft, what's your team going to do? Who are the Lions going to take? How are the Lions going to screw up the draft again this year? How are the Lions going to just make Lions fans? How do you become a Lions fans and a capital? What are you, Lions Capitals? Is that what you are, Aaron? Oh, he's got to move and sit up.
Sorry, Lions, Capitals, Dodgers.
How'd that happen? Like that's an odd.
Lions are my favorite animal. I'm a fourth-generation Dodger fan, and I like Alexander Ovechkin. How can you not?
No, it's fair to like Alexander Ovechkin. I like him too, but I'm not a Capitals fan.
Well,
that's
there's
okay.
no good teams here, so.
If you didn't have another team, are you from here?
Yep.
All right. So I guess if you're from here, you can be scattered all over the place. You don't have to just be a Cowboys Dodgers fan, right? Although it can be all right.
You can be whatever you want to be in life. A Jets fan, a Lions fan, a Jaguars fan. It is up to you.
I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan. All right. So you've won a Stanley Cup and a World Series in the last few years. It's kind of good living. The Lions may never win anything, but it's been good. Now, how do you feel about your boy? Goff at quarterback, because at times he's really good, and times Jared is just Goffle. So you got to turn your mic on if we're going to hear you. I see you speaking. The radio works way better when we can hear you. Yeah.
No, I like Goff, but if we took Fields, that'd be great. But I don't think he's going to still be there.
Ooh. He may be at 7. Is that a wild card, JJ? There's no way the Lions jump into that, is there?
The Lions and Panthers are absolutely still wild cards in this situation. The thing, when you're looking at Jared Goff, that trade, it did get them an extra first-round pick, so they're not necessarily saddled to Goff other than just the money they're paying him, but swapping him out for Matthew Stafford. Ultimately, I actually do think Detroit makes the smart move, gets the best offensive tackle on the board, and moves forward.
Wow. All right. And this is where it all comes in. Because there's teams like that who could be sitting there just thinking, all right, everybody thinks we're going another way. We're just going to sit here and shut our mouths, Oh, there's Justin Fields, and he's the number 3 quarterback on our board. Hell, he could be the number 2 quarterback on a lot of board. I think there's a lot of people who have Justin Fields and or Trey Lance. The guys who the majority of these mock drafts have falling past the first 3, rated above the guys at number 2 and 3. Don't you like if Joe, or I'm sorry, if Jets, BYU, why have I just spaced the name? Help me quickly.
Zach Wilson.
Thank you. Zach Wilson and Mac Jones go 2-3. If you're, let's say you're certainly not doing it at Cincinnati, but if you're Detroit and you say, gosh, we have Justin Fields, Trey Lance as the number 2 quarterback, and he drops down to 7? Do you sit there and go, man, I know we need an offensive lineman, probably don't need another quarterback, but do you do it? And what's he worth afterwards? Hell, you could take him, and what's he worth afterwards? Right? You could still move him.
Because this isn't necessarily an Aaron Rodgers situation. You're not sitting there with an established MVP. Like you're sitting there, I think Jared Goff is good. I think Jared Goff is above like league average. So I think there's still enough there. Like if you're looking at league average quarterback, I do think you're a little bit past that with Jared Goff. So, but if it is a Justin Fields or Trey Lance, and you have them graded out at 2 or 3, you definitely have to consider it. You always have to be looking at your options at the quarterback position if you believe that this talent is in a position that you didn't expect them to be in, or you don't think you're going to be in next year. And it's the situation that now it's not, because everyone goes back to Patrick Mahomes, and that was different. Like that was a playoff football team, even with Alex Smith, and then they drafted Patrick Mahomes. To me, my biggest thing is if Mac Jones goes 3, if we do see that, that's what I think creates a feeding frenzy. Now, if something else happens off the board, if it goes Justin Fields 3, then I think everyone steps back and lets this play out, and then we don't see crazy stuff happen.
And then Trey Lance could fall
9.
Mac Jones could. I could see Mac Jones going 15 to the Patriots at 15, right? And then
if so, of all the predictions, the one that I just can't get away, I do not see the New England Patriots taking a quarterback in the first round.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because there's too much of them actually doing it for me to think that they're going to do it. All these reports that they're trading up.
They're going to find a way to get Jim Garoppolo, right? Do you believe in that one?
I believe it. I believe in that more than the Patriots taking a first-round quarterback.
I see them taking a first-round quarterback, and especially if I think they like any of them. I mean, Mac Jones, Trey Lance, like I think any of them fit there. I just think that there's too much on the line and the window is too tight for Belichick to not think he's got this thing turned around. How long is he going to do this? And he's not going out when they stink. Like, he wants to get this thing back up and get it back up to where he expects him to be. I don't know that Jim Garoppolo does that. That's a really interesting quarterback room if they go into camp, Cam Newton, Jim Garoppolo, and one of these rookies.
If that's the case, probably Cam Newton looking for a job somewhere else. It's just the one I don't have the feeling on. You always have that.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but, and that's mine. I don't know why, but
Okay.
I don't
Rudy
see the
on the
Patriots
phone.
selecting
Rudy.
him. First round quarterback.
I'm down. Rudy, good morning. You're on the Quan's Auto Care Hotline. Hello, Rudy.
Hey, good morning. So draft day, huh?
Yes, it is.
Well, good luck to all the people out there who are going to try to make it to the next level. I've been speaking to Teton Salty, and he's gotten a lot of interest from a lot of teams, so let's see what happens. You know, the draft always comes down to whether there's a run on a certain position or not to get people who are quote-unquote marginalized. I don't think there's anything marginal about Teton at all. His upside is unbelievable.
Yeah, I think Teton, what do you think, JJ, about third, fourth round would be a great place for him?
It'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, it all depends. You know, people start plucking offensive linemen and somebody gets nervous, he could go early. If there's not a run on offensive linemen, then he's telling me that he's got a lot of interest. I mean, I don't think it'll be a problem for him to sign a pretty decent free agent contract. You know, I fooled around with that for about 7 years, being an NFL player agent, so I know a little bit about the system. And sometimes if you're not going to get taken in the third or fourth round, and if you're going to drop down into the later rounds, you're actually better off as a free agent because you have teams bidding on your services as opposed to one team that drafted you and here's our deal, and you take it. So it's going to be an interesting day. I'll tell you a funny story. Kevin Ned, when I was representing him, we had a lot of good feedback, but he kept dropping, and the Vikings wanted him. And so Kevin basically sat on my couch for 3 days, just, you know, becoming despondent, and you hear all the stories, and then all of a sudden the phone starts ringing, and here's the Minnesota Vikings, and they offered him a really good free agent contract. So he ended up being okay, but it's a long 3 days waiting to hear your name if you drop down to the later rounds or free agent.
Well, a guy like that, where does he think he's going? Like, Teton would love to go third, fourth round, but I think we all probably realize he's probably, going to be sitting around there kind of like that on the couch, hoping fifth or sixth, or how does that go? Because at that point, are you hoping to hear your name, or everybody wants to get drafted, and you probably have a better chance to make a team being drafted, but how does that play out?
Yeah, funny thing, the last 2 rounds, you have a better shot of making the team as an undrafted free agent, the statistics say. Now, this COVID year has changed so much about how teams are analyzing, and really all it takes is one team that's so high on you that they're not going to let you drop because they see what you can do to fit into their schemes and how they want to play football. So that's all it takes is one general manager, one scout, to say, this is our guy, this is what he can do for us. So I'm very hopeful that will happen for Teton because, like I say, as far as character and work ethic, he's above the rest. You don't get to that spot if you're not outworking people. And he played no organized football until, I believe, his junior year in high school. So, when you got the schools that came after him, Ohio State, Oklahoma, they probably wanted him to walk on. So let's see if this can turn into a success story. I mean, all the best to Teton. He deserves to get drafted. Also, there's Tyson Dyer just sitting out there. He's a good punter. I think the Australian style is going to help him, and I see him going free agent.
Yeah, I think that's probably right, too. All right, Rudy. Thanks, man. Teton, big couple of days for Teton. And you know that this is a big Teton Salty's house. We are huge on Teton as far as a human being, one of our favorite people, and wishing him the best. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com, JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, Sports Animal.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green
and keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
I like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
All right, so here we go on draft day. 2460610 if you want to get in today. 888-922-0610. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. First pick will be the Jacksonville Jaguars. They will take Trevor Lawrence. Number 2 will be Zach Wilson, by every account, to the Jets, the quarterback from Brigham Young. And then it opens up and we play it out from there. If you want to get in, you can. Love to hear from you today, what you think your team's going to do, what you want your team to do as we go through this. See any hoops last night? Phoenix Suns 109, Clippers 101. The Phoenix Suns are in the playoffs for the first time in a very, very long time.
11 years.
Everybody's talking Lakers. Everybody's talking Nets. I'm telling you, I think the Suns are going to win this thing. I think the Suns are going to do some damage in the playoffs.
Lakers and Nets are favorites, as they should be if healthy. They have the best players in the game, LeBron James and Kevin Durant. But the Phoenix Suns should be in the conversation with the Utah Jazz, with the LA Clippers as a team that is going to be playing potentially the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, depending on how the seeding shakes out. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you could get a ridiculously good playoff series because apparently Paul George and Chris Paul don't like each other. I have no idea where this came from, but they were taking some shots back and forth at each other, did not have the post-game handshakes or a little animosity between those guys. And I'd be here. I think it'd be a fantastic series because Paul George has a lot to prove. He hasn't done it in the postseason. And guess what? So do you, Kawhi, because that was a terrible finish last year. And people believe in you. People have talked about you as one of the best players. We're talking top 3 players in this game. Well, you're set. You have everything you need on the perimeter around your stars. The Clippers got to do some work.
You say Kawhi has a lot to prove. Does he have to prove that he still has it or that he had it? Like what is it he has to prove?
What every
Guys won
great player
championships
does.
for 2 teams, right?
Okay. If LeBron did what Kawhi did last year, we would still be talking about it today.
Right. I agree.
Which is not show up in Game 7 and have a bad series and lose a 3-1 lead.
Yep.
So the answer is yes.
Yeah, well, the answer is yeah. He has what to prove, and the answer is yes.
Yeah, because this is what we talk about with great players. I don't care what you did, what can you do? And Kawhi Leonard can still be a great player. And for him, I think he wants to go out there and show, you know what, that was weird. It was a bubble year. That's not who I am. I can lead this Clippers team. Because you talk about it so much, it's the Clippers. They can't do this. They've never been out of the first round. Well, then guess what? If Kawhi does it, it's like LeBron doing it in Cleveland.
If Kawhi does it, it's like Kawhi, kind of.
100% kind of. Cleveland's done nothing, just like the Clippers have done nothing.
Yeah, except for Cleveland cares, and nobody cares about the Clippers. And I would argue that the Kyrie and Kevin Love were pretty good. I mean, it was a pretty good team that he did it with, right?
Yeah, but winning a championship, but LeBron was very successful. And he got Cleveland out of the first round of the postseason, just like Kawhi did last year.
Yeah. And the Clippers have been there.
I'm holding Kawhi to a superstar expectation, like I would any of one of these guys. Like Kevin Durant coming off of, when he bounced from Oklahoma City after they blew a 3-1 lead. Giannis, back-to-back MVPs, but get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Put your team on the doorstep to get to the NBA Finals. You're that good of a player, yes.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's right. I think he should be held to the same standard as Giannis. Kevin Durant was at that point. At that point, Kevin Durant had not won a championship. To this point, Giannis has not been to the championship. And Kawhi's won with 2 different franchises. So I guess to me the answer is yes, but and the answer, well, I don't even know what the question is because I asked what does he have to prove, so the answer can't be yes. He didn't show up in Game 7. There's no argument on that. That's not a conversation. The answer to that is obviously yes. at what point do you give a guy a little leeway for having a down game in a big moment? Well, and the answer may be never. The answer could be,
not if we're talking about a guy that we say is top 3 player in this game.
And the answer may be a superstar doesn't get leeway. If he's a top 5 player in the league, and it's go time and it's game 7 and you were up 3-1, the answer may be never. And I'll accept that. But do you get the but when you say, now that guy's won a championship in 2 places and was the guy in San Antonio? You could certainly argue that what he won with in Toronto was less than what LeBron won with in Cleveland. But you're right. So
no,
I guess the answer is no. You can't argue that at all.
Well, wait, we are overvaluing Kevin Love, by the way, who just quit on his Cavaliers team.
That was
this year.
The Kevin Love that was back then.
Yeah, as Kyrie
quit on him then.
Is better. Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, Pascal Siakam.
Fred VanVleet had a hell of a playoff run. With all due respect to Fred VanVleet, I'm not putting him in the Kyrie Irving category. I'm just not.
Kyrie's the best player.
Terrific. Okay.
But
Lowry,
Kawhi had a lot to work with in Toronto.
Well, everybody who's won a championship had a lot to work with. Everybody. I'm not telling you had nothing. Everybody who's, again, we can have this conversation again, but who's the guy who's won it by himself? Nobody has. I'm not telling you Kawhi did. No, I'm not telling you Kawhi won it by himself. No way. That's not what I'm saying. Yes, what I'm telling you is, yes, there's something to prove. I guess, what is it that he's got to prove? That he can win? That he can still win? That he's clutch? I don't know. Is he proven?
Well, what does LeBron
clutch?
have to prove? It's the same thing. It's the players that we call the best in the game are going to be held to a different standard than even a Giannis at this point in time, because they've been there, done that. And if you're going to say that he carried Toronto, then Paul George is better than any one of those Toronto players, right?
He should be. Yeah, he should be. He should be better than Kyle Lowry.
I just have high expectations for Kawhi to bounce back and have a great postseason this year.
First of all, the answer, LeBron's got nothing to prove, but what does this have to do with LeBron? That's what when I talk to somebody who hates Trump and they say, yeah, but Biden, or they say they hate Biden, but yeah, but what about Trump? Like it's got nothing to do with the other guy.
It does. When we're talking about the 3 best players in the game and expectations and what we're expect from them, and the conversation was Kawhi was better than LeBron. Kawhi is better than Kevin Durant.
This conversation was?
No, the last few years, when we're talking about best players in the game, and they carry more expectation than a Chris Paul does at this point in time, or Donovan Mitchell down the line.
They do? Yeah. Okay, so the answer is LeBron's got nothing to prove. To me, he's got nothing as a player. He's got nothing to prove. I mean, so that wasn't even in my mind. I guess the answer is, or the question was, I asked, and you said he's got some. What does Kawhi have to prove? What is it that he has to prove? That he's still one of the best 3 players of the game, or that he ever was, or what
that
what
he's
is
still
it
that dude?
That he's still that dude. Okay,
that was, that moment for anyone else, apparently other than Kawhi, would drag them down. Because people still go back to LeBron's last playoff series in Cleveland. And oh, did you see LeBron when he was walking off the court, tore off his jersey? We do hold superstars to a different level in this game, and I believe Kawhi Leonard is still in that conversation, which is why I'm excited to see how he and the Clippers respond this season.
I would argue with you that LeBron is and should be and will be held to a higher standard than even Kawhi. I've never once heard the Kawhi Michael Jordan conversation anywhere. Have you? I mean, I would tell you I think LeBron should be held and is held to a higher standard.
But we've had the conversation of, are one of those guys better than LeBron?
Yeah, I've heard that. So I've heard that, and that's typically when LeBron was hurt. Mm-hmm. But I've heard that. I think you're not wrong. Like Kawhi's he's accountable for that. He's accountable for not showing up at Game 7. Is Paul George better than Kyrie? Or than Kyle Lowry? My answer is he should be, but I'm not convinced he is. Honestly, what have you seen from Paul George since he's been a Clipper that makes you go, oh yeah, he's worth all the accolades.
Everything up until that Nugget series.
I've been thinking until that postseason.
Until that moment.
In that whole postseason, yeah.
And that's the thing with playoff P. Because the dude had experience, man. They were a playoff team when he was back in Indiana. And guess what? They could just never beat the Heat. But who could at that point in time? So that's, I think, what's been really disappointing about Paul George in the postseason.
Yeah, I guess... Give me someone who plays in the postseason. Well, Kawhi didn't show up in Game 7. You're right. No, he didn't. And you could even argue Game 6. And I'll tell you, you're probably right. I cut him a little slack because I've seen him do it. Now, if he doesn't have it anymore, he doesn't have it anymore. If he's not that guy anymore, he's not that guy anymore. He might not be. We're going to see in these playoffs. But he's going to need some help. He got no help. Now, Rondo's there. Playoff Rondo. Does playoff Rondo make up for playoff PG? We'll see. Right? Because those two guys go a completely different direction once the postseason hits. I give you that. Kawhi's got to be held accountable. I'm just not certain what I think he's got to prove. If you're going to tell me he's got to prove that he's still one of those top three guys, all right. Yeah, he does. He's got to prove that he's still one of those top three guys in the league. It's Kevin Durant, and it's LeBron James, and is it Kawhi Leonard, or is it James Harden, or is it Giannis? Or is it, is it Jokic? Can Jokic be thrown into that conversation? I mean, we'll watch it. Yeah, I'll give you that. Does he have to prove that he's clutch or he's a champion? No. To me, he does. To me, he doesn't. Like, that guy was pretty damn clutch when a championship with two franchises was the guy. Now, he should be in his prime. And is he held accountable for that? Absolutely. But to me, I will hold him. I'll hold very few, and I think fairly, and you will too, hold very few to that LeBron, to that Kobe, to that MJ standard. Who else you put in there? Maybe
and that's why I'm with you. I don't put that on all these guys. And the whole losing a 3-1 series lead, that's definitely harder. Like, you look at that, how could you not have one moment? How could you not stop? And the same thing goes for KD. And he had to live with that until the Warriors, and then he just destroyed everybody in that situation. But those are the ones that are hard. That's why I'm looking too. And by the way, it's terrible timing, Donovan Mitchell with that ankle sprain. So hopefully that they get him back for the playoffs, because the Utah Jazz are a team as well that's living with that 3-1 loss that hurts more than anything else when you blow up chances like that in the postseason.
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0680. If you want to get on the NBA too, you can. What does Kawhi Leonard have to prove? Suns are in the playoffs. They're really good. They are 40. It's insanity. That's a team that did not make the playoffs last year. They are 44-18. Last time they were in the playoffs, 2010, Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire. It was nuts. That's how long it's been for that franchise. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Datacom is the manufacturer's representative for the states of Arizona and New Mexico. Datacom represents Fuji Electric for uninterruptible power systems and Layer 0 for static switches and power distribution units. High-Tech Power Protection manufactures dynamic rotary UPS systems up to 3.6 megawatts, individual and 100 megawatts by combining multiple units. Call Louis Ruffin today at 505-507-7722 or go to datacom.com to learn more.
Dream Style Roofing tops them all. When your roof's worn out and needs to be replaced, we're gonna do it right, put a smile on your face. They're at home, things are looking up when you get your roof done by someone you can trust. Dream Style, a company name that's been around forever, no one does it better. You need a new roof, you know who to call. Dream Style Roofing tops them all.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
The hope the NFL draft brings. Quarterbacks, the bust potential. It is time. What did
you want me to play radio with you? Is that what you're saying?
Hey.
Man. All right. The Kawhi thing is interesting to me because, JJ, I don't know. There's like a shelf that only LeBron sits on. Like, is Anthony Davis held to that standard too?
No, I understand where you're coming from. It's a different level with LeBron because we're talking like greatest of all time conversation.
Right.
So I do understand that. But it's also what is happening right now. And right now, Kawhi Leonard is in a position where that no doubt that should be a Western Conference Finals team then. Of course, depending on the path. The pressure that's on Giannis to get his team there. All right, you've been MVP. Fantastic. What have you done in the playoffs? There's a lot of good players in this league right now. There's a lot of expectations on the Stars. And I think Kawhi is kind of one of those guys that pushes above even Giannis because he's been there, done that, and he still has it. But it's just fascinating because this is the time you lock in, and this is where those greats are made, and it's in the playoffs.
All right, so if you were going to tell me, and I agree with you, that Kawhi's got to rectify last year's situation, more to prove in this playoff, Kawhi or Giannis? And to me, the answer is Giannis, right?
In that regard, yes, because, like you said, all right, Kawhi's been there, done that. Okay, but Giannis has it, but we're calling him MVP. We're saying, all right, is this guy, pushing to be right there, as a top 3 player in the league? Well, now it's the time you got to get it done. And so in that regard, yeah, I would go Giannis.
All right, 505-246-0610. You can get in on the draft as well. David says Toronto won their championship because Golden State was ridiculously injured that series. They were. The elite superstars can sometimes not come through and still be considered elite. You can look at each and every superstar and find times in their careers where they did not come through in a big playoff series. Finals or conference finals, even earlier rounds, even Jordan. Magic was my guy, and he choked big time in '84. Cost the Lakers another title, which would have given him 6. No one remembers that except for me, of course. Kawhi has a lot of equity in the tank already because he's come through in the past. However, Paul George does not. They are loaded this year, so if they fail and the Lakers are healthy and win another one, then it's a big-time ding to the Clippers and their reputations. Same with Chris Paul, because he's on a team good enough to win, and he's never led a team to the NBA Finals. Chris Paul thing's interesting. First of all, are the Clippers loaded? Clippers are good. Are they loaded?
Yes. If you're comparing, if we're saying Kawhi is in that top 3 conversation, Paul George is good enough, and then the peripheral part. It's not the Lakers. Like, you're looking at playoff Rondo, Schroeder, okay. Morris, they each have a Morris.
Yeah.
Zubac. Now, Drummond, I think, is the one that you start going, okay, this is a legitimate difference maker inside.
I think the Lakers are better, more loaded than the Clippers. And that's because I'm just not sold on Paul George. I was 3-4 years ago. I'm not sold on Paul George. I just Paul George, the playoffs. I mean, how many times do you have to see it to just fool me? How many times? The Chris Paul conversation is really interesting. I mean, we're getting late for him. He's been there with a couple of teams that probably should have been. So, can you put it on a point guard to get you over the top? Is like, I mean, do you put Chris Paul in the same Giannis category? Because he's running out of time.
No. I don't put him in that Giannis conversation because without Giannis, how do I want to phrase this? Like, because I think Devin Booker is just as impactful this year as Chris Paul. Because you take Devin Booker off that team, and Chris Paul's not an MVP, or in the MVP conversation. Like, Chris Paul is fantastic, but I think it's more so the rise alongside Devin Booker at this point in time. So I wouldn't have a Chris Paul with like Giannis expectations.
Yeah, I don't either. And by the way, Chris Paul's played well in the playoffs. Remember when Houston was up 3-1 in that series, and then it was his hamstring that went out. He played really well. I guess. I mean, he may retire without a ring, and so he'll have to wear that, right?
Yeah.
Paul George may retire without a ring. To me, where do you put Paul George in what, like is he in the Kyrie category? I mean, the best one too is AD and LeBron. There's no argument, right? Or is that Harden or is that because they got 1, 2, 3? It's Kyrie and KD and Harden, or Harden and KD and.
If you're going 1, 2, you still got to get the edge to LeBron and AD,
right?
Yes.
1, 2, 3 is
1, 2,
Brooklyn.
3, it's Brooklyn.
Yeah, I don't know that I think the Clippers are stacked. I think they're good. I think they're really good. I mean, stacked to me is Brooklyn. Stacked to me is the Lakers. But we'll see. All right, if you want to get in on a draft, you can as well. That's where Richard went. He says, here's what you'll see tonight, Jeff. You'll see a team show interest in a guy, and suddenly everyone wants him, and his stock will skyrocket. Then you'll see another club back off a guy, and now everyone gets cold feet, and his draft value will fall faster than that foodie Gronk caught, that football Gronk caught. Okay, so we're going to sit here tomorrow and talk about something that we're not talking about now. Is it going to be one of these guys that we're looking at the top, sitting in that green room, Aaron Rodgers style, Jordan Love style, just feeling it? One of the most uncomfortable draft moments in my life that I've ever seen in a draft was Aaron Rodgers in that green room. Do you recall that?
I do.
Him sitting in that suit, starts out a full room, and then everybody's gone but him, and he's fallen, and he's fallen, and he's fallen, and he's fallen. And Green Bay go, well, they have Aaron Rodgers. Okay, it was horrible. Somebody's going to be that guy, right? Somebody's obviously going to be the last one, but somebody's going to be there unexpectedly late. You don't see it being a quarterback, right?
No, to Richard's point, there's going to be some flows in this draft. And what the heck is San Francisco going to do? Because they don't need to hide it from anybody, but they are. Because they're not going to lose out on a player. They know that it's Fields, Lance, or Jones that's going to be there for them. And I do think that if Mac Jones goes, that's where it gets a little crazy and people do start trading up for Trey Lance or Justin Fields. Then all of a sudden the teams you've talked about, Jeff, like New England, Chicago, if those players kind of start falling to the back end, you're getting 8, 9, 10 in that area, they're still available. Feeding frenzy.
Yeah. All right, you can get in. We got one more segment for you before we get out of here, and then it'll be getting countdown to draft. 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610. Emails, Jeff or JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. Watch us on the Facebook page. Aaron's producing over on ProView Networks. You can watch us there on our Facebook page, The OD in the AM, or on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. Stephanie is now running the ship. Look at Bob's face, like he's watching over his shoulder. Okay, ready to get ready when he says this. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a #1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth that's real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green.
And keep the community green as well.
Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment.
You trash it,
we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Turbo Threads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. Turbo Threads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for Turbo Threads.
Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend. Visit clarkspet.com.
I like Trujillo a lot. I watched him play last year. Murillo puts it on the deck, high window, and scores.
Oh, beautiful feed inside for Palacio.
Staying, and she's going to anticipate that pass and get a steal. Good job, coach, leaving her in the game. Little Euro step as the defense goes by. Volcano Vista. And there they are, tipping it to themselves. That's a really nice, intuitive basketball play there. That's instinct.
Great pass to Richardson. Layups up and it's good.
Another
what
play.
A pass by Dominguez. Good job by Asia Amir. Splits two defenders, puts it up, scores, and is fouled. Great shot by Asia Amir.
Dangerous pass. Johnson in transition. Look at him burst through with a hammer jam.
Gives the rebound. Ahead to Murillo. Murillo will put it down with the authority.
I think we'll see that
Double
on the
pump
highlights.
slam. Wow.
Zay, can I sing him happy birthday?
No, by all means.
Well, but before I do that, I want to make sure that, like, my papa, my dad, Mike Brown, this one's for you. We love you. Everybody out here loves you. I just want to make sure that you know that. You're the best coach, dad, everything in the world. I just want to make sure you know that. So, Zay, this one's for you, man. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Zay, man. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. I'm here as much as you need me.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're going to hear all kinds of stories and rumors today if you want to. If you don't, just turn off the noise. CBS is reporting the Saints are looking to go into the top 10, try to trade up. If they've got someone they like, who is it?
How do they
they
do
would
that?
go for? I don't know.
How do you get from 28 to top 10? That's some magic.
It would be some magic. But if they've got someone, they're not willing to overpay, right? 2011, they traded number 56 of their next year pick to go up to 28, got Mark Ingram. 2011, they traded Jamal Brown to move up. They traded late. I mean, how'd they get Brandon Cooks? They traded 27 and a third round to go up to 20 to get Brandon Cooks. They traded Jimmy Graham in 2015 and their third round pick to go up to 31. So how they get? That's how they got Kamara. They traded.
That's different. We're talking 28 to top 10.
Yeah, I don't know how. I don't know what they got.
Unless you make a move to 14, and then you use that move to get into the top 10. That would be unbelievable move. 28 to top 10.
Maybe. Julio Jones going to get dealt today?
No.
Will he get dealt?
I don't think
will
so.
At some point, right? You don't think so?
Well, if he does, we get to wait till June for that.
Yeah, I think it happens later. Yeah, I just think they're going to want to dump that salary. If they get Kyle Pitts, you got Calvin Ridley. I understand who Julio Jones is. Calvin Ridley's pretty good, and if Pitts is half of what everybody tells me he's going to be, I mean, there's very few offenses. Kansas City might be one of them, where the tight end is your best receiver. If Kyle Pitts is that good, you can afford to do something there, can't you?
You can, but to me, if you draft Kyle Pitts, you're not saving a ton of money getting rid of Julio Jones. So if you're going forward with Matt Ryan, why not play it out then?
Yeah. I don't know that I totally disagree with that. Yeah. I don't. Yeah. All right. I want to go back to hoops real quick. Chris Paul in the MVP conversation?
Yes. Chris Paul, Steph Curry. I think you're looking at
Chris Paul's team is 44 to 18
of third to fifth place votes.
Okay, his team's 44 and 18. Like as much, I got a man crush on Steph Curry. I understand that. Chris Paul's team is 44 and 18. He's been the difference over there on the court, obviously off the court. I mean, they're not bouncing around hoping to get in the playoff tournament, in the play-in tournament. They're at the top of the West. They're at the top of the NBA. And the difference has been him, and he's been spectacular. Like there's part of me that doesn't want to listen to it, and there's part of me that goes, how do you not listen to it? They are one game away having the best record in the NBA. So typically when you start talking about, I understand this isn't a rule. You start talking about who's the best player in the league. Right? What do we say? And I know it's different. Mountain West Conference. Well, you take the best player off the best team. Typically, when you start saying, well, who's the best team and who's their best player? Now, you can have the argument that he's not their best player, that Devin Booker is. I think he's got to be in the conversation. I'm not telling you I vote for him, but I'm telling you I think he's got to be in that conversation.
Okay, give him a third-place vote. Give him a second-place vote. I think Nikola Jokic is the MVP. Then if you start factoring in, at what point you do have to start considering availability. And so that's what hurts Joel Embiid. And do you just pull Shaq on it? And then Shaq last week was like, no doubt about it, Joel Embiid's the best player in this game this season, give him the MVP. Well, I don't think that's necessarily the case, because I think what you're saying, there's multiple ways you can look at this. So I could absolutely see Chris Paul making a late push, because if you look at his overall body of work and then his stats over the last couple weeks to close out this season and potentially finish with the best record, that would push him over even a Steph Curry, I think, for some people in this conversation. So absolutely Chris Paul is going to get some MVP votes for, we're looking at it in the ballot format. It's like, all right, fill out your top 3, your top 4, and Chris Paul is going to get votes.
Yeah, I guess what is your MVP, right? It comes down to, is he the best player on the best team? Is he most valuable? Is he the best player, the best season? What does your MVP mean to you? Look, Julius Randle's been terrific. I don't know. I think he's the MVP. Chris Paul's averaging 16.2 points a game, 8 assists. Those aren't necessarily MVP numbers, right? What do you have last night? 28 and 10. I don't know that he'd be at the top of my ballot either. But he's got to be in the conversation. Yeah, to me, he's got to be in the conversation. All right. Nets are at the top of the other side, by the way. One game better than the 76ers, and the Bucks are 3.5 games back. And we're literally, right on it. So 14 games left, 10 games left, whatever it happens to be. All right. First surprise tonight's going to be what? Whatever the Niners do, is that going to be a surprise? Will you be surprised by any of that if they don't take?
I wouldn't be surprised, because we know they're going quarterback. But what it does, I think it changes the reaction of everyone else. Because if they go somewhere other than Mac Jones, then Jones is a dude that's on the board for a while. Because I just don't see other teams like, oh man, I need to trade up for Mac Jones.
Yeah.
So Fields, Lance, I think those are the ones that teams are like, ooh, I am very intrigued. Let me potentially give you something to go up there and get one of these guys.
David's the one who sent me the email earlier about, Chris Paul's got a lot to prove. He said, Chris Paul MVP, ? Best record in the NBA, ? In the conversation, ? Then he should be held considerably responsible for leading them to the finals or winning a championship, right? If that's the case. Yeah. First of all, he won't win it. And there's no question mark on best record in the NBA. They have the second best record in the NBA. David, I would argue, what would be the difference in that team from last? That's the fact. Is he in the conversation? I think he's in the conversation. I don't think he's the MVP. So Chris Paul MVP, I don't think he's the MVP. I would say he's in the conversation. And in a typical year, so you say best team. So should he be held responsible for winning a championship? Is he that guy? Is he in the? We're not talking LeBron, but is he in the Kawhi Leonard conversation, James Harden conversation, the Giannis conversation? Is he there?
He's not there, but when you're coming at it from that regard, I get the postseason. Well, if this guy's the MVP of the NBA, how can you not have the expectations? I think the expectations are absolutely high for the Phoenix Suns. This is an unbelievable jump that they have made. Usually it's like a progress, right? Like, oh, you get in, you're 8-7 seed, oh, you went. No, this was from, all right, you were fantastic in the bubble, 8-0, it's all of a sudden potentially being 1 or 2 seed in the West. It's unbelievable, and he deserves to be in a little bit of back end of the conversation. I think if you're just going straight MVP, I even think Giannis would jump Chris Paul in that regard. Embiid would be above him, potentially a Steph Curry, because if we're talking about availability, Donovan Mitchell would then have to be in the conversation.
Music, 1 minute.
His ankle.
I think that's right too. It's Jokic. 505-246-0610. Write it down. Put it in your phone for tomorrow, because I think tomorrow we're gonna go nuts. It'll be Friday. I don't know, man. Maybe we burned our hoe on Thursday. For all I know, maybe we hoe on Friday. Maybe we don't.
Oh,
Bob,
today's was just a special.
I understand, and I feel special. Bob, Stephanie, thanks for keeping us on the air. Aaron, great work on the TV side. Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd follows that. Trulio and Carlisle with the Sports Bar this afternoon at 4. We'll be back with more award-winning radio for you tomorrow morning starting at 7 a.m. JJ, have a good call tonight. Volcano Vista will be your site.
Have a day, y'all.
Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. Smell you tomorrow.